Good day, family, and welcome to the Power Up. I'm your host, Tami Hill Thomas. So glad that you're joining us today as we get equipped, educated, empowered, and elevated together as we grow as one human race, a community building each other, as we grow as a nation and a planet. Because the better you are, the better I am. We're so glad that you're in a place where power and excellence and experience and intelligence and inspiration can all help us in this moment, in this space, whatever we're dealing with. So let's start with a quick reminder of worth and values. Today, as we think about the power we have within to be our best selves, sometimes in those hard moments, the power doesn't necessarily shine through. Sometimes it takes those hard experiences when we have to show courage, when we have to show our best selves in the moment. And today we just want to encourage you that you are the one that's already built and ready for this situation. I often remember times when, as a young person, I didn't have much courage. I didn't have much self esteem. I didn't have a lot of what I need now as a grown up. But as I think about the fact that I made it through some things, I learned how to pull from those that I've achieved and help them drive me forward into this season. So, we want to share a few motivational tips and reminders with you. And first, I want to start with this from a viewer. I had a conversation with a viewer who was struggling with time management and prioritization. So, I just want to start with one reminder: focus on the big rocks, don't sort the gravel. I heard that shared years ago. And as a Franklin Covey certified trainer, it's one that I share regularly. Put your efforts into what will help you thrive. Now, that doesn't mean that every moment is going to feel good to you, but can I remind you of how good for you it is? And because not just you, but as you become better in this season, everything you touch will reap the benefits of your better. So, first, let's start with reminding you what you put your efforts into should be what will help you in the end. Do you need to grow in education and information and knowledge? For example, have you recently had to switch careers, whether by choice or not? There's a huge reduction in force that's taken place to help with cost savings, is what they share. Well, if you're one of the individuals who had to shift with the reduction, and it wasn't necessarily a time you said, I'm ready to retire, or you said, you know what, I'm ready to shift jobs. It hit you where you had to adjust. Well, here's the thing: the same you that helped you get into that job is the same you that can grow in this moment. So, as you're going through the shift, what can you tap into that will help? Knowledge and information. If you're, for example, going from medical profession into academics, are you skilled or at least knowledgeable of the lingo, the terminology? Let's say you're moving from accounting to acquisition. Well, do you understand procurement standards? Do you understand regulation? Are you still number crunching? Or have you morphed into how to be a financial analyst and look at a bigger picture? Maybe you're just shifting because sadly you've had to bury someone that was your boo or your spouse, like your best friend, someone you walked the journey of life with. And now you have to figure out, how do I move in this shift? Focus on the big rocks. Don't spend your time sorting the gravel. And that includes folks and their opinions. Ooh, that's a big one. That includes figuring out, do you respond to everybody's opinion? Or do you stay focused on, this is what I have to do right now? These are the things that will get me financially set, including speaking to a financial advisor, looking at my spending, cutting costs where I can, shifting with the shift so that at some point you master the shift. Come on, family. Life is not going to stop because we're dealing with something that doesn't feel good. What we have to do is bring in the resources that we need so we can master this moment. Because here's a tip for you. You're going to be here again, right? Like, think in the past of a big shift you had to go through. Think of something that happened where you were nervous or dealt with anxiety or dealt with the unfamiliar or dealt with the, I'm unsure. Now, think of how you won. You made it through that. You are in a position now of influence and greatness, all because you stepped out there and you seized the moment. You did what you had to do. Well, come on here, future you. You're here now in a place where you can pull from what worked back then to help you adopt and adapt. Adopt the practices that helped you back then. Tami, immediately when that happened, I went on a week's vacation because I had to clear my mind from what I had to get the emotions out. Maybe I needed to cry it out. Maybe I needed to scream it out. Maybe I needed to get with a mentor or attach with a coach or even get a therapist. I took that week to figure out what I needed to physically help me. And then I went back to the job search. Or then I went back to talking to the individuals I needed to help me in this moment. Sometimes you don't know what you don't know, but there are experts who do. They live what you don't know. The reason tapping into those resources is the best option. Okay, so as you're moving, one of the things we constantly remind you at the Power Up is how you have at your disposal, at your hands, so many things that can help you as you prioritize the tasks in front of you. Essentially, even when feeling unmotivated. Yeah. I'll give you a tip. Every time I go through a health battle, right? I'm an advocate for lupus awareness and Sjogren's syndrome and so many thyroid care. Since losing my thyroid, I've been an advocate for so many things that I've gone through. And so many things that my dad experienced and so many things that I'm connected. So I stood up and decided that instead of being man, I can't believe that happened to me. I'm going to start having a voice in it and being loud about it and letting folks know this is not the end. You can win. Get powerful in it. Find out what foods will help you, right? Find out what foods will hurt you. Get in support groups. There's other folks who are walking the same journey or who have already walked it you can learn from, right? But you go into those moments even when you feel unmotivated. It's sort of like starting over with a workout. I tell my Yoda all the time. That's what I call him. He's my physical trainer. And I tell him whenever I have physical setbacks, I hate starting back at one. I don't know about you. I hate starting over because it's hard to get my muscles back to moving, to get my motivation, my mental state to say, all right, get up and do it. It's hard to do the putting the clothes on and driving to the location. Sometimes it's just hard to start. But when you have the resources and accountability partner and you have your vision in front of you of what you're going to do, those reminders will be your motivation. Prioritize what you need to deal with right now, the big rocks. You set your routine so that it helps you with reminders. Right? For 30 minutes, I know I'm going to do this. Okay, if I'm not out the door by this time, I'm going to miss this class. All right, well, I want to do this, so I have to make sure that I set an appointment so that I can really understand it and meet with that person so that you get once you start your connections and you have your rocks in front of you, your goals, whatever it is you're trying to accomplish that you have to deal with right now, even when it hurts, you then start building your routine. All right. Well, it's not hard that on Sundays, what I'll do is I'll do my grocery shopping and then I'll do my food preparation for the week. So I know I have to be eating salads, but everybody ends up going to chicken or they end up going to ribs or they end up going to food that's not healthy. Well, I know I have to do my salads. So I'm going to meal prep. That way I can just grab it and go. Routine then becomes meal prep. Or, on Fridays, I got to do smoothie Fridays. I've been really dealing with gut health as I age and things just aren't processing like they used to. And it hurts, right? Gut health has pains associated with it. And I just don't want to be doing that all the time. So let me add a smoothie to give my stomach a break on what it's going to eat today. Okay. Well, that means preparation. It becomes a routine. I'm going to do my smoothie, so I already have it. But it's all meant to help you. Even when those times when you're not motivated, if you do it out of habit, then it's still done. I am just here to remind you that your achievements and your goals and everything that you want to do still matters. We often get questions a lot that says, how do I lose 50 pounds? Right? We get, how do I save $2,000? Or how do I, like, really, really big rocks, like, right? Something that's monumental. Listen, you can have a goal that says, I want to go to the moon. Somebody's done it. In fact, President Kennedy stood first and shared in front of the entire nation. We, the United States, are going to be the first to go to the moon. We're going to build a rocket that's the size of football field, 3 football fields. And we don't have everything we need right now and all the intelligence, but we're going to make it happen. He stood with a goal, with all his confidence, and said, we're going to do it. Well, it's been done quite a few times. So much so that it went from just being a rocket to carrying people to people living in space. And it's possible because someone decided it was a goal. Your goals aren't probably going to the moon, but I feel you if they feel like it sometimes. Sometimes they can feel so large that, you just feel like nobody understands. You feel like there's nothing you can do that's enough, that there's this now slamming against me, and I was already going through these things. I want to encourage you to visualize what your success looks like. Okay, so not just the goal, but what it looks like when you cross the tape. What does the other side look like? So then the goal shifts. It's not just, I want to lose 50 pounds. But success looks like getting off all these medications, getting my diabetes in control. I don't want to prick my finger anymore. That's success. See, because then when you make it more about the visualization of the win, then it's not as hard to meet the goal anymore, because now your motivation kicks in. Every time you prick your finger, I don't want to do this anymore. I gotta change something. All right, well, now let me go get with a nutritionist and figure out what I'm eating wrong that can help, because food drives everything that happens in your body. Let me meet with a doctor to figure out what I need to do with this. You know what? Haven't had a physical in years, going to get it. Haven't had that mammogram, going to get it. Haven't had that prostate exam, going to get it. Whatever it is, it's all meant to help you, because on the other side of success, I see myself lighter. Not just losing 50 pounds, but not feeling so tight in certain areas. Not having to come in and just be glad I can, let it off. Not having to look at swollen ankles anymore and buying specific shoes because I can't fit in them. Not having to worry about how I see me or what my smile be covering up my laughs because I don't like how I'm going to start doing what I have to do, because the visualization of my success is my smiling. It's the happiness that comes with me smiling. So then that big rock of going to the dentist and getting assessed and having to hear the dollar amount just becomes information, not discouragement. What do you mean it's going to be $5,000? Okay. Well, that's information. Maybe go to two more. Get the one with the lesser price, or the one that you feel comfortable. When you walk into the office, it's like, wow, this is what state of the art. I like these folks. They were kind to me. I'm comfortable, right? You figure out what visualizing your success looks like. That's when your motivation starts to come. I don't want to downplay the hardness of a start, the difficulty in shifts, especially when it's a result of something you don't feel like should have happened to you. You don't feel like you should have lost that person. They were supposed to go with you till y'all were the golden oldies. Or maybe they were supposed to stay my business partner and they walked away from me and decided to start a business with someone else. Or maybe the family dynamics have changed so much we don't talk to each other, and it's because we really don't want to. You have to visualize, what does it look like to have a success in each of those realms? And sometimes it's also accepting that folks on your journey are not always meant to stay on your journey. Right? Like, we understand seasons happen in the world: winter, spring, summer, fall. So the leaves on trees don't stay through all seasons all the time. Most trees in the fall lose the leaves because it's preparing for the seed to go in the ground, right? It's letting go of the stuff that no longer has the nutrients in it, the life in it. So it falls and many trees become barren. Doesn't mean the tree is dead. It means in this season, it's meant to be stripped of its barrenness, so that as those new buds show in the spring, they're not holding on to the old stuff. Oh, come on. I hope somebody got that. Come on. That was good stuff right there. Listen, if you are in your winter, thankfully, you're in a season where you're being pulled and stripped, and all the old is being, so that when the spring comes, your skin and all the stuff and all the feelings and all the negativity and all of the experiences are falling to the ground. And you get to move forward now in the transition, ready for new. Got that? Ready for brand new rocks. Ready for brand new goals. Ready to see, oh, I didn't know I could do that. Because it's still new inside of you. As long as you are breathing, you have potential and greatness and opportunity to learn and become new every single day. Oh, yeah, it's not over until your last date. Right now, you are living your dash. What do you want it to be? What do you want to visualize? Because, see, once you make it through these 10 years, what you're trying to accomplish now, there's going to be brand new stuff. Senior years are not easy. Your body starts to really struggle with gravity, really struggle with the aging process, because we don't live forever. So then your goals become different. That's why many folks in their senior years have bucket lists. You know, all right, now that I'm retired, I want to do this, 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 this. I took care of the kids. I took care of the house. I took care of everybody else. Now it's waiting for me. Okay, so you retired and it's about you because you took and poured into that legacy you're going to leave. Thank you so much for all of your impact in the world. Are you ready? Are you prepared for the shift now of the new you? And then come on. How about for those of us that aren't quite in senior years? How about starting that bucket list a little early? Why not live out loud and on purpose right now? I'm going to take care of the kids, and I'm going to make sure the legacy is right, and I'm going to do everything I can to leave wealth for my family, or to make sure that generations behind me are coming with the excellence that I live. However, I'm going to live excellent right now. If I got to prick my finger, do it on a cruise. If I have to prick my finger, I'm going to do it wherever I can, head into an airplane to go to another side of the country. I'm going to enjoy. I've always, Tammy, wanted to start a book club. I got news for you. There's people that want to read and be part of a book club. Why not you? I've always, Tammy, wanted to finish my degree. Why not you? Man, I've always thought about moving in faith and really doing outreach work or starting a nonprofit or even just connecting with an existing nonprofit and figuring out like what I can. And you know what, Tammy, there's still so much to me. I think I want to start working again. Okay. Why not? In it all, though, it's a shift. That's where we started. How to keep your values alive and how to ensure that in this moment you stay powered up. Here's the thing. A tree doesn't stop doing what it was created to do because of the seasons. It has everything in it, starting at an acorn to be 100 feet tall, to show the greatness and still drop everything on it. You an apple tree? Okay. Well, apples don't bloom in the winter. Most of the deadness and the leaves and everything fall to the ground, but it doesn't stop the apple tree from being the great beauty it was designed to be because it's in a dry space or in a cold space, because it's in a space of reform. I'm not saying it doesn't feel cold and certainly doesn't feel dry. What I'm saying is the same way you buy that coat and prepare for the winter, you can buy and you can figure out life practices that you need to put in place to prepare for your dryness in this shift. Okay, I got my folks. Tammy, I hear you. It's just hard, right? Like I'm an introvert. I don't like connecting with people. Okay, first of all, we're not doing excuses. Okay, introvert, extrovert. Identify what your deficiencies are or what you lack or what you feel are the negative things you're dealing with. Write them down. And then for every 10 or 20 that you write, I feel like I can't. I feel like I'm tired. I feel like I'm poor. I don't have the money. I feel like I'm not connected to people. I feel like I don't know where to start. I feel like write it all down. And then for each one of them that you write, I want you to write a how you can. All right, I'm tired, but I need to see a doctor about being tired, or I need to start taking vitamins, or I can figure out, what this is, why I'm tired. Okay. Tammy, I don't have the funds. I'm lacking so much. I just don't have it. Okay, cool. So here's the thing. I need to see an advisor. I need to, I've only had $25 in this bank for so long and it's been there and I've never gone and got it, but also haven't added to it. And I don't have the money right now. So let me go talk to somebody. Maybe there's interest on that 25, or maybe they have new opportunities because I'm a returning customer that I just didn't know about. Banks do promotions too. And with those who have career shifts, and I did a training a few days ago on resume building, how many of us have to take that 5-page resume and figure out how to pull the bullets out of our years and years and years of experience and make it a 1-pager with just a few bullets that people see they want me and I can get in the door because of that. Well, that's a process. So you tap into those resources that can help you. What's the biggest way to stay powered up? To understand that it's not over till it's over. Even when it hurts, when it's hard, when you're alone. I'm married to a wonderful man. My husband is my biggest cheerleader, my best friend. We talk about everything. But I don't need his approval to make my dreams come true. He's my sounding board. Babe, how does this sound? What's your thoughts? Can we do this together? But I'm Tami. And so even in a relationship, there's two unique people. And don't get it twisted. He is living his best life out here. Aside from his wife. Because we're two people. I share that because there are some people that feel like I can't, but I got the kids, or I can't, but because I'm married, or I can't, but I've got all these obligations. First of all, you've got to learn how to change I can't and take the not off of it, because all things are possible. If you need to write that down so you look at it every day, there is nothing that's not possible. I just shared a man, a former president, who said, we're going to the moon, but we don't have everything and all the information yet, but I want y'all to know it's going to happen. Maybe you need to help yourself visualize, see every day the victory. Again, not just the rock. Oh, I got to lose 50 pounds. The win. I'm going to be able to finally be lighter and not have this, and my back won't hurt as much. And I hear people say that if you do this, this is better. Listen, there's wins for every problem you have. You're lacking finances, there's ways to increase them. You need a job, there's people hiring. It's a process. It's the shift. But oh, when you're in the summer in all of your glory, when you're the tree of magnificence, you're not only appling, but you're dropping apples so people go and buy, get your blessings. You're not just sitting up here full of life with leaves, but you're providing shade to nature. You have so many dimensions to you, but you're so focused on this barren moment that you're not even remembering all of the flourishing you've been through and experienced in the past. Family, stay powered up. Stay team you if nobody else is. Even when it's hard, even when you're unmotivated, even when it hurts. You've got to be your biggest fan and allow new opportunities, allow new thoughts, new concepts. I could is a great way to start, because even if you don't believe you can, that's speaking hope to your situation. I could brings a whole new elevation, totally a counter to I can't. We hope today's Power Up was helpful. We hope it keeps you remembering that all you have, you haven't even tapped into yet. Can you believe that? You haven't even tapped into some of the wonderful things that are amazing in front of you. The books and the connections and the speaking and joining a civic association. I never thought about being a judge at the polling place. And I never thought about, why not you? Somebody's got to do it. Family, think bigger and allow yourself to visualize your winning season and enjoy the ride. Not saying you won't cry, but cry and walk, cry and crawl, cry and fight until you get to the point where those tears become happy, where those tears become your energy, where those tears become victory celebrations. As always, we at the Power Up want to thank our first responders and those who put themselves in harm's way, our military and our veterans who are trailblazers. We thank you, caregivers, teachers who care for our babies. We thank you all, whatever you are doing in this season. Thank you for doing it. You keep getting up, showing up, rising up, standing up, and being the best you, even in it. And I promise the other side of you is going to be great. Take care, family. See you next time.